Welcome to this explainer on the 6 pillars of the dominant man. Look, if you strip away all the comforts of our modern world, the screens, the noise, those polite little social contracts we all sign, what are you actually left with? Right down at its core, life is just a fundamental game of power, survival, and absolute mastery. We're operating in this biological and psychological arena every single day, whether we admit it or not. As you're navigating your career, your relationships, your own personal growth, you're either the architect of your environment or you're at the mercy of it. So today, we're unpacking the exact blueprint of the guys who choose to be the architects. We're going to explore the 6 foundational pillars that construct a truly dominant, deeply grounded man. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this quote. Whether it's the tiger in the jungle or you in today's world, the one who dominates is the one who is the most powerful and dangerous. Now listen, we need a massive psychological reframe of that word dangerous, because when you hear it, your mind probably jumps straight to a bully, right? Some thug using force to harm the weak. But no, that is entirely wrong. Being dangerous in this context, it means cultivating an absolute internal fortress. It's about developing such robust physical, mental, and resourceful power that the sheer anxiety and chaos of this cruel world just bounce right off you. You don't build power to step on others. You build it so nobody can step on you. It's literally the ultimate form of self-defense. It's becoming so incredibly capable and resolute that your mere presence commands absolute respect and peace of mind. First up, command your physical presence. Before a single syllable even leaves your mouth, the world has already made a split-second judgment about exactly who you are. Your body language is shouting volumes while your lips are completely sealed. Think about Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders. I mean, the guy isn't some towering giant. He doesn't have the physique of a bodybuilder. Yet when he walks into a room, the whole atmosphere shifts. People stop. Why? Because of the quiet pride in his posture. That quiet pride signals straight to the primitive, lizard part of our brains that he is completely unaffected by fear. He stands straight, he takes his time, and he occupies his space without apologizing for it. That right there is the true essence of physical presence. And this brilliantly illustrates the contrast. Picture 2 men walking into a high-stakes negotiation or maybe a tense boardroom. One guy walks in, holds intense but relaxed eye contact, sits down comfortably, and just claims his space. The other guy, he's darting his eyes all over the place, slouching, sitting with his knees pressed tight together, literally shrinking himself physically to take up as little space as possible. You gotta understand this. People, and particularly women, have a deeply ingrained evolutionary radar for these exact signals. We are quite literally hardwired by evolution to trust the grounded man and disregard the anxious one. They are instantly judging your confidence, your strength, and your reliability based entirely on these tiny physical micro-expressions. So once you've physically commanded the room, your next weapon is your voice. Step 1. Slow down your pace. Step 2, speak calmly and clearly. 3, smile at foolishness instead of reacting to it. And 4, speak with a deep, authoritative tone. A truly dominant man fully grasps the profound psychological weight of his words. Imagine you're in the middle of a heated argument. The dominant guy doesn't raise his voice to compete with the yelling. Instead, he actually slows down. See, a powerful man never rushes to blurt out his words because he's afraid of losing his turn to speak. Rushing screams anxiety. He controls the tempo. When he's surrounded by chaos or sheer disrespect, he simply smiles at it instead of getting all defensive. He lets that deep resonance come straight from his chest. And trust me, when you speak slowly and deliberately, people physically lean in to listen to you. All right, moving on to pillar number 3, master your inner world. Up until now, we've talked about the external shield, your body and your voice. But listen to me. An imposing exterior is completely useless if the fortress inside is crumbling. This pillar requires a profound psychological shift because you can't possibly hope to command your environment or earn the respect of others if you can't even command your own mind. It's just not going to happen. This inward shift is exactly where unshakable, foundational inner power is born. So the crucial point is understanding emotional control. And let's be clear, this is not about becoming some cold, unfeeling robot or just burying your feelings deep down. Psychologically speaking, an emotion is literally just a chemical storm happening in your brain. It passes. True control is the profound realization that every single emotion, whether we're talking about blinding rage, deep sadness, or crushing anxiety, is temporary. It's just a storm passing through the sky of your mind. By mastering your feelings, you strip away their power to dictate your actions. A grounded man absolutely feels that blinding rage or that intense anxiety, but he takes a step back. He lets his logical mind take the steering wheel. He never ever lets a temporary feeling cause a permanent disaster. Which brings us right into pillar number 4, build total self-reliance. And I'm just going to deliver a very hard truth right now. If you're a man in this world, no one is coming to save you. Total self-reliance isn't some luxury, it's a fundamental requirement for survival. Think about it. When the market crashes or a sudden crisis hits your family out of nowhere, relying on a charming smile or hoping someone else is going to swoop in and bail you out, that is not going to cut it. You have to be the anchor. The world is actively looking to you to be the one doing the saving. If you lack the ability to solve problems independently and weather the storm on your own 2 feet, the world is going to write you off incredibly fast. Just think about this quote. A bird sitting on a branch of a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking because its trust is not in the branch but in its own wings. That right there, that beautiful metaphor perfectly captures what true, deep-rooted confidence actually looks like. The bird doesn't panic when the wind starts howling because its security isn't tied to that external branch. Its security is entirely internal. Listen, if your confidence is tied strictly to your job, your bank account, or what other people think of you, you're going to live in constant fear of losing those things. True dominance is building wings so incredibly strong that you actually welcome the wind. You've got to cultivate a skill set and a mindset so resilient that when the metaphorical branch of your life snaps, and it will snap at some point, you know with absolute, unshakable certainty that you can fly on your own. And hey, building those wings absolutely requires pillar number 5, physical fitness. This one, completely non-negotiable. And we're not talking about vanity here, or just looking good in a tailored suit. I mean, sure, that's a nice bonus, but it's really about optimizing your human machine and forging actual psychological armor. It gives you extra energy, readies you for combat, and prepares your mind. Look, when you're enduring grueling pain in the gym or out on the mats, you're doing way more than just building muscle. You're building a callus on your mind. You're teaching your brain that you don't quit when things get hard. Being physically fit gives you this massive baseline of explosive energy. And yeah, it readies you for a literal physical confrontation if the absolute worst happens. But the real secret? It proves to yourself every single day that you can take the pain and come out infinitely stronger on the other side. Finally, we reach the absolute peak of the pyramid. Pillar number 6, lead with power and mystery. See, once you've mastered your physical presence, your voice, your emotions, your self-reliance, and your body, well, you naturally just elevate right above the crowd. But self-mastery, that's really only half the battle. The ultimate dominant man develops the ability to cast his vision outward. He inspires the people around him. He becomes a true boss in his own life, the kind of guy others willingly follow because they can practically feel his unshakable foundation. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this delicate duality of leadership. On one hand, you've got to be a leader who inspires people and builds a really strong, mutually supportive community around your vision, right? You bring people up with you. But simultaneously, you have to fiercely guard your deepest vulnerabilities and protect your secrets. Psychologically, human beings respect what they cannot fully predict. Leadership does not mean oversharing. Honestly, if you're oversharing every little insecurity, your unpolished strategies, or your tactical weaknesses, you are just bleeding authority. You're making yourself vulnerable to people who might want to exploit you. Keep your cards hidden. The true strength of a keepable, dangerous man lies in his mystery. People know you're strong, they know you're fair, but they never know exactly all the moves you're ready to make. So here we are. We've walked through the 6 pillars: commanding your physical presence, mastering your voice, controlling your inner world, building absolute self-reliance, forging physical readiness, and leading with power and mystery. Look, these aren't just cool ideas to think about. They are a daily, relentless practice. They are the exact tools you use to take absolute control of your environment. So I'm going to leave you with this final, vital question. The world is waiting. Are you going to choose the hard path of self-mastery and be the architect of your own power? Or are you going to let the cruel world dictate your life and just remain a victim of circumstance? The choice is entirely yours. Step into the arena. Thank you for joining this explainer and keep building.